Hi guys, so in the last tutorial we were just finishing up listing out the different symbols for our notations, and this was This is original notation. So now we have multi-valued attributes, multi-value, shown like this. We have derived, and we have key, which is identified. And that's shown like this. Okay? Now, one important thing to note, this was original version up here, but in Crow's Foot version, right, relationships cannot have attributes. Once again, in Crow's Foot version, relationships cannot have attributes. That's an important distinction to make. And now we're going to move further into conceptual design. Let me just clear a little space here. But I'll briefly introduce our next topic. So we're going to go into cardinality. And cardinality goes along with this whole, the schemas that we're using, right? These little, all these symbols and everything, making a conceptual schema or diagram. So what cardinality basically means is the number of entity instances that can be involved in a relationship. Number of entity instances that can be involved in a relationship. Right? So now we have maximum cardinality. Which is the maximum number of entity instances that can participate in a relationship. And minimum cardinality is the minimum number of entity instances that must participate in a relationship in order for that relationship to exist. And that's the key word there. So relationships can be 0 to 0, 1 to 1, many to many. Right? Let's look at, and there's many more. Let's look at some notations. So in original notation, if we want to say an employee may be a student, okay, so we have employee, and this is original notation. Employee, then we would say maybe a student, right? Maybe. Now, if we were the same thing in Crow's Foot, we have an employee, right? Which now this should say employee. I'm just abbreviating here, so that's not part of the notation. But this right here may be a student. Okay. So notice we have these lines here. Instead of 1 to 1 inside of this diamond, now we have 1 to 1 over here, and this is may be. Now notice the dotted line here. That means they don't share an identifier, right? So that means the identifier of one is not the same as the identifier of the other. That's an important distinction to make. If they did, there would be a solid line there instead of a dotted one. But they don't, so we put a dotted one. And that's what all I have time for in this tutorial, but see you guys in the next tutorial. Thanks.